muscles of the upper extremity. The upper extremity is easy, except over here. I think we're gonna put this, well, you're gonna need to see this area here. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna take away this muscle first. This muscle's right over here, it's the easiest one. Looks like a triangle, it's called the deltoid, and it inserts in that deltoid tuberosity. So if they show you over here, if they put a piece of tape here, origin or insertion? Insertion. The deltoid starts here, comes here, and moves it this way.
So they're gonna tape the bones instead of the muscles?
And say, what does
Well,
this?
it'd be easier
is
to
this-
tape the bone, because you wanna see where the inserts on the bone,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
okay? I won't do this.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thought we were starting this video.
Okay.
Shoot me now.
All right. So, let's review.
We know what they're gonna do. I see the tape.
That's right. Over here, remember the scapula here? Remember the spine of the scapula? Above the spine is the supraspinous fossa. Below the spine is the
Infraspinous fossa.
infraspinous fossa.
going on.
What would be a good name for the muscle? The supraspinatus and the?
Infraspinous.
Good. All right, so you're getting an idea. And over here in the front, this is called the subscapular fossa. What do you think the muscle that goes here is called? Subscapularis. So let's take a look at that here. I'm going to take away the deltoid. Can we all see the spine of the scapula?
Yes.
Right? So what muscle is this?
The suprascapular.
Supraspinatus. And what is this muscle over here? And you can look over here, see this muscle inserts here in the greater tubercle. This muscle inserts in the greater tubercle. And look underneath here. You have two more muscles. This muscle is called the teres minor. So the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, and teres minor all insert over here. And look at this other one underneath. That one's called teres major. And you see it goes somewhere else. Okay? So supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, and in front, what do we call this?
The, call it something.
The
Subscapularis.
subscapularis. And you'll see, oh, better write that with these down, because these are not in your blue book.
I was straight looking like, really?
I wrote them all down.
It's not in your blue
I have a
book.
list.
It's in the blue book you're supposed to have gotten.
The new
I
blue
looked
book.
at it online. I ain't see them online.
Who's got the books online?
here.
I wrote down all the lists from
So
the,
am I making this up? It's in there, right?
yeah, I wrote them all down from the new blue book because my old one doesn't have it. There's like
Exactly.
3 pages.
Bananas.
Oh, okay.
It's all under rotator cuff muscles.
Yes. The rotator cuff.
But it's not in on here.
It's not, well,
It's
it should
not
be
in
somewhere.
blue.
Well, they should be in
They'll
there. You
last.
won't see subscapularis in there,
Some of them aren't in the.
but you should see supraspinatus and infraspinatus.
Like the
Oh,
lecture
yeah, I
book.
wrote them down in here, but I'm talking about on here.
You should be able to see supraspinatus and infraspinatus in there.
I see infra, I don't see
It
super.
may be
It's on a
like
different page.
actually like
Like they have somewhere that's like close up of that
That's why I'm
specific
trying to
bone.
look at, like, where is it at?
that
So here's
infraspinatus.
supraspinatus.
Oh, okay, so it's getting extra.
213.
Some of them zoom in
Supraspinatus.
and it goes into like
And-
better detail.
They don't have infraspinatus here.
Right here.
Infraspinatus, yeah, it's all.
Oh, okay, they doing it like it's open.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so we got the, do we have the rotator cuff okay? Here we go.
Thank
Go.
you.
So now let's go a little further. The arm is really easy. There are 3 muscles. The humerus is in the middle. There's 2 in front, 1 in the back. Do we see over here 2 heads? These are the 2 heads of the biceps brachii. They go from the intertubercular groove, and one comes from the coracoid process. They come down. Look over here. Here's the intertubercular groove. Here's the coracoid process, the 2 heads, and then they insert in the radius of the radial tuberosity, right? So if I have a piece of tape on this little nubber, is this an origin or insertion? If I have a piece of tape over here, Is this an origin or insertion?
Origin.
Okay. Now, if I put it on the coracoid process instead of origin insertion, you'd have trouble. It is the origin of the biceps brachii, but we haven't gone over the muscle yet. We'll do it together. It's going to be a muscle here that inserts there, so it gets confusing. So they will never pick that, but somewhere they'll have one or two pieces of tape for it. So the very first muscle here is the biceps brachii.
Want me to put it behind me?
No, I better keep it. That's right. I still got the other muscle. I need to keep it. So I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take away the biceps brachii, and underneath it, there's another muscle. It starts at the front of the humerus and inserts. What is this sharp point over here called on the ulnar?
The coronary process.
Coronoid process. So it starts here, goes into here, and it helps flex the elbow also. Now, it really looks like a fish too, doesn't it? But we already have one named after a fish, the soleus in the leg. This is called the brachialis. So the primary agonist is going to be the biceps brachii. Here's a helper. It's going to be called the brachialis. Now, you can see muscles from the side here. See, even with the biceps brachii, you can still see muscles over here, but it's deceiving because they're not next; they're actually behind the bone. They're over here, and this muscle back here inserts over here. Here's the ulnar. What's this bump on the back of the ulnar called?
The styloid.
No,
No.
styloid process is down here. The olecranon process, exactly. The olecranon process. So the triceps surae, that's in the leg. The triceps brachii is over here. It's in the back. So here's the front. So we see here one head, two heads. And you see the third head over here? Third head. And that's going to be the third head of the triceps brachii. Now we'll get to the fun stuff, the stuff that's a little bit more complicated. There's one more muscle I haven't told you about, and it starts over here on the medial aspect, on the lateral aspect, and it's this little hunk of meat right here. Okay? It goes from the brachium and inserts into the radius. It's also a flexor. So this is called the brachioradialis. It's not so much important for anything else except taking it away. Once we take it away, a whole bunch of things become obvious. And that's why over here it's complicated. I think the most complicated part of what I'm teaching tonight. Over here, unfortunately, this is a right and this is a left. But over here, can we see the trochlea and the capitulum? This is the medial epicondyle, the lateral epicondyle. Correct? Now what happens here is, let's take a look over here at the medial epicondyle, right here. Well, medial epicondyle of the left. That's right here. And from that epicondyle, I have this muscle and these two muscles all come off. Let's look at these two muscles. They come from here and they insert in the carpal. They're going to do this. What's a good name for muscles that do this?
Supinator. No? Am I wrong?
Flexocarpi.
Flexor carpal. So we're just going to call them the flexor group. So the muscles that come off the medial epicondyle go in front, go anterior, and they flex. So one thing I can say is if I put a piece of tape by the medial epicondyle and I said what muscle group, it would be the,
Flexor.
now it ends up on the lateral epicondyle. Ready? Now that I took away the brachioradialis, this is where the lateral epicondyle is. And you'll see that when I go like this, here's my lateral epicondyle right here. And these muscles go here. You see that? So at the lateral epicondyle, what muscle group?
Extensor.
The extensors. So I can call the lateral epicondyle where the extensor group comes from, or I can call it the origin of the flexor group, or the origin of the extensor group there. Now, it gets two more muscles because over here, not all the muscles on the medial epicondyle go straight to the wrist. The very first one does this, doesn't go this way, goes this way. Now, what is this muscle going to do when it contracts?
The pronator.
That's the pronator. Now, if they think this is a straight muscle, so what do you call a muscle that pronates that's straight? Say the whole name?
Pronator teres.
Okay, can we all see that that's pronator? So pronator teres and the flexors.
Okay.
Sounds like a good band, doesn't it?
Do we need to know the individual names of
No.
the center and flexor?
You have to know the pronator teres, and these two are just flexors.
And we just know that it's a group of,
Yes.
okay.
Now, last stupid one. I've taken away, what muscle was this over here?
Something brachioradial.
Brachio, inserts the brachioradialis. Do you notice over here, here is the pronator, and there's a muscle that goes perpendicular to it. This pulls this way, this pulls that way. That's the supinator. Everybody got that? Okay, study. I gotta go with this.
Bye.